For this assignment, you will be outlining your research essay. So, this is the plan for your research essay. As a reminder, you will want to make sure that you are completing the outline template, which you can download here. And you will need 7 to 9 total paragraphs with 2 pieces of contextual evidence, so quotes from your research for each body paragraph. So paragraphs 2 through 8 or 2 through 6, depending on how you set up your paper. You are supposed to use the classical argument structure, which includes an introduction, narration, confirmation, refutation, conclusion. If you need more details about this, you can go back to the research essay topic page by clicking this link, and where I explain each of these different phases of your paper, but I think you're probably well acquainted with them now. As a reminder, you will use your research in sections 2 through 4, the narration, confirmation, and refutation. We do not use our research sources as part of our intro or conclusion, generally speaking. I did want to take a moment and show you a sample outline. And so the sample outline, this is going to look very similar to what you did before for essay 1, but this is actually going to be essay 2. First, you're going to put in your topic. And what this student did, which makes the most sense, is he included his research question here. This is the same research question that we saw on his annotated bibliography. Then you'll notice his research question says, do toxic mining sites negatively affect the health of the Native American tribes that live near them due to land allocation? His thesis says, toxic Superfund sites are having a negative effect on Native Americans due to the allocation of land near these sites. It is answering the question, basically saying yes. So if you were to see his full introductory paragraph, which you can go to his final draft of his essay, it is the sample essay on the research essay topic page, you'll notice that he doesn't use this question in his paper, but he is answering the question through both his introduction and the body of his paper. So he put 1 for introduction, but you don't actually need that. That's an error. But again, I don't generally edit student work. So the Roman numeral 1 is going to be your body paragraph, your first body paragraph, and that's going to be about your narration. So giving background. So he tells us the history of land allocation has shown that Native Americans have not been given what they were promised, which left them vulnerable to receiving land that was environmentally unfit. He's giving us our background information here. He's also providing the evidence that he's going to use from his sources. These are quotes or paraphrases that he's using. Keep in mind, with MLA, you are required to use an in-text citation and cite the source on your works cited every time you summarize, paraphrase, or quote a source. So each time, summary, paraphrase, or quoting, you have to provide in-text citations. An error he has here is that you will not include a comma in between author's last name and page number, but he's provided us our evidence that's going to support what he's going to talk about, his topic sentence for that paragraph. Then he's going to move into his confirmation, which is where he's really going to present his argument. He says toxic mining sites are having negative effects on Native Americans who live on reservations near these sites. He's again providing his in-text citations. He's using this here where it says QTD and Hoover et al. This is a really interesting in-text citation that would be important for you to know. The first is QTD means that he found this quote in the source on his works cited page called Hoover that uses the last name Hoover first, but somebody other than Hoover said it in the source. Additionally, he's used et al, E-T-A-L period, to indicate that there's 3 or more authors of this source. So this is how you would do this. In this case, you do include the comma. So, fun MLA, interesting MLA things that change and swap and move around depending on source types and the number of authors and those sorts of things. He goes to his next topic. In addition to preventative healthcare upgrades, environmental cleanup efforts can help reduce the risk of disease brought on by toxic exposure. So he's telling us things that can be done to help this situation. His next topic sentence, one way to offset negative health effects caused by toxic superfunds is to improve healthcare. Again, he's providing a call to action or solutions that are available. He provides his research and tells us which source it comes from. Then he gets into his counter argument and refuting it. Some say solution to natives' problems is in their own backyard. In other words, it's not the government's problem to solve, that Native Americans should be taking care of this, and he provides his research there. But then he goes on to another paragraph here that says critics suggest there's a lack of trust between tribes and the outside communities that would hinder cleanup and healthcare. So again, he's still talking about counter arguments, and he's going to refute that with evidence. Then he gets into his conclusion for his paper, which is really going to end in a call to action. Taking responsibility for environmental justice is a long overdue olive branch to help make amends for centuries of injustices that may already be unamenable. So what we can see is that he's done a really good job of coming up with a thesis statement, his topic sentences, and the evidence, and he's grouping his sources where they make sense. So in his first couple of paragraphs, he's really focusing in on the background information. So he went through his sources and pulled out stuff that helps him to reveal the different background informations. Then he gets into calls to action, and he's using his sources. He's not using the same source in every single paragraph and every single example. He's mixing them up. So I would suggest to you, when you're looking at your sources, to break them down into background, calls to action, counter argument, and refutation, and kind of break them up that way so that you can kind of understand how they thematically are going to work to fit into your paper. Just like with your previous outline, the more effort you put in on the outline, the better off, the easier it will be for you to write your essay on the back end. Something to note, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 body paragraphs plus an intro and conclusion. You're only required 7, but you can have as many as 9. So he kind of split the middle and went with 8 on this, and that works out just fine. Just be mindful that you are required at least 5 body paragraphs with 2 pieces of evidence each. I've given you space for, 3, but you don't need 3 per paragraph. You only need 2 per paragraph. And you also have space for up to 5 body paragraphs, but if you need more, you can add those in, but you are required at least 5 for this assignment. I hope this video helped you to better understand the assignment, and if I can be of any help to you as you are parsing through your research and coming up with a plan, please let me know.